Xiao Yan had broken through to the level of a Saint Do Shang, but the appearance of the first Tianzuan revealed just how immense the power of the Hall of Souls truly was. Because of that, Xiao Yan began seeking allies to stand against this mighty enemy. The Burning Flame Valley and the Flower Sect were among the first to join the alliance. But that alone was not enough. What about the Pill Tower, including its inner division, the Small Pill Tower, which housed far stronger experts? Xiao Yan understood that the most crucial component of their alliance was the Pill Tower. It had the ability to summon experts from all across the Central Plains to its side. After all, the reputation and influence of the Pill Tower were unparalleled. Which expert on the Central Plains had not relied on the alchemists of that organization? If they joined, the reputation of Xiao Yan's newly founded alliance would undoubtedly rise. They would no longer be inferior to the Hall of Souls, even in direct confrontation. However, Xiao Yan knew perfectly well that convincing the Pill Tower would not be easy. The Pill Tower had always maintained neutrality. Since its founding, it had never joined any faction. Even if they deeply hated the Hall of Souls, the chances of persuading them to join the alliance were slim. Therefore, to resolve this issue, Xiao Yan and Yao Lao decided to personally visit the Pill Tower. Sending letters or messengers would lead nowhere. In the original novel, Xiao Yan sent letters to both the Flower Sect and the Burning Flame Valley. But in the anime, it was shown differently. Xiao Yan personally visited the Burning Flame Valley, while Yao Lao went to the Flower Sect. They split up to personally convince each faction. Xiao Yan had good relations with Valley Chief Tang, having once done him a great favor. Yao Lao, on the other hand, was an old acquaintance of the great elder of the Flower Sect. In the end, both the Valley and the Flower Sect joined the alliance. However, Xiao Yan and Yao Lao went together to the Pill Tower. Queen Medusa said that she would take care of the Falling Star Pavilion during their absence, as most other matters were already settled. Not delaying any further, Xiao Yan and Yao Lao hurried toward the Elixir region. Queen Medusa, Xiao Yixian, and the others stayed behind at the pavilion. Both Xiao Yan and Yao Lao could now be considered saints, and thus their speed far surpassed that of ordinary experts. Traveling through space, they reached the holy city of elixirs within half a day. Emotions surged within Xiao Yan as memories flooded back. He recalled the time of the Pill Gathering when he defeated Mu Gu and claimed the champion's title. In a sense, the Pill Tower owed him a favor. After all, if Mu Gu of the Hall of Souls had become champion instead, the reputation of the Pill Tower would have suffered a devastating blow. Xiao Yan and Yao Lao went directly to the Pill Tower. They were received courteously, seated with tea, and asked to wait for the three Tower Masters. Xiao Yan smiled. He knew that Yao Lao had a good relationship with the three Masters. And then came the long-awaited moment. Yao Lao's reunion with his old love, Xian Yi. The doors opened, and Xian Kongzi appeared in white robes, smiling broadly. Behind him followed Tian Lei Zi and Xian Yi. It's been a long time since we last met. How have you been? Yao Lao replied with a faint smile, setting down his teacup. The three approached, examining him carefully. After a moment, Xian Kongzi sighed, patted Yao Lao on the shoulder, and said warmly, "I never thought I'd see you alive again." Yao Lao smiled even wider, patting his old friend back, though his gaze lingered on Xian Yi. Yes, the moment had come. Would Yao Lao receive the same kind of treatment as before? He started confidently, saying, "It's been a long time, but you're just as beautiful as ever. Unlike these two old relics," he added, pointing at the other masters. Xian Yi blushed slightly at his compliment. Her shy demeanor left Xiao Yan momentarily speechless. It was clear even to him that she still had feelings for Yao Lao. Everything went surprisingly smoothly, though, sadly, there were no long-awaited kisses. The four of them laughed and talked, while Xiao Yan quietly stood aside, not daring to interrupt. "Old Yao, you truly raised a fine disciple," Xian Kongzi laughed. "Xiao Yan is still so young, yet already a saint. If something had happened to you, I might have tried to take him as my own disciple." Xian Kongzi had broken through to the level of a half-saint, Ban Shang, just a year ago, yet when he looked at Xiao Yan, it felt like facing an endless ocean. He could not even see the young man's limits. It was a joyful reunion of old friends, but soon they turned to the serious matter of the alliance. You must have an important reason for coming, don't you? Shen Kongzi asked knowingly. Yao Lao then carefully explained their purpose. However, the matter of forming an alliance was difficult. Everyone knew how stubborn those old fellows from the small pill tower could be. Yao Lao knew it wouldn't be easy, but he had to try. The Hall of Souls was too powerful. No side could resist it alone. If they didn't form an alliance now, no one would escape its grasp. Having once been captured by the Hall of Souls, Yao Lao had some insight into their motives for collecting souls. Shen Kongzi frowned. He knew they wouldn't gather so many souls without a reason. He said that if their founder were still present, a single word from him would be enough to reveal the truth. And we all know who that founder is, the 9th rank pill. But who exactly was this founder of the Pill Tower, and who was its strongest figure? He was known as the ancestor of the Pill Tower, a 9th rank pill and a 9th level alchemist. He was described as a short man in plain clothes, with clear eyes and a gentle face, resembling a 10-year-old boy. As we know, 9th rank pills are unique, possessing their own consciousness. How did he come to exist? Long ago, one of the tower's founders exhausted his life to create a healing pill. At the moment of the pill's completion, his soul thread fused into the 9th level pill, giving it life. The pill transformed into a human. That human became the guardian of the Pill Tower. From a certain perspective, he could be called an avatar of that ancient alchemist, though a very special one. Over time, this ancestor repeatedly saved the Pill Tower from destruction. Eventually, none could match his status, though he never sought fame. He disappeared after the Pill Tower stabilized, and no one knew where he went. It's fascinating. The 9th rank pill itself became the ancestor of the Pill Tower. His power was said to reach that of a 6-star saint, Do Shang. With such strength, it's no wonder the Pill Tower commanded universal respect. Although he had vanished for many years, his word still determined the tower's fate. If he were here and agreed to join the alliance, no one would oppose it. However, in his absence, all important matters were decided by the Grand Elder Council of the Small Pill Tower through a voting system. The council consisted of 10 votes. 3 belonged to the Masters of the Outer Pill Tower, Shen Kongzi, Shen Yi, and Tian Lei Zi. But even with their combined votes, they still lacked influence. The remaining 7 elders held greater authority. Yes, 3 votes were not enough. Although the council's decisions were usually democratic, some elders were extremely rigid. Yet, if they could secure just one more supportive vote, the result could still shift in their favor. There was hope. 2 of the 7 great elders of the Small Pill Tower deeply despised the Hall of Souls. If Xiao Yan and Yao Lao could persuade them, that would make 5 votes, a real chance of success. Thus, the 3 masters, together with Xiao Yan and Yao Lao, set out for the Small Pill Tower, entering through a spatial tunnel. The Small Pill Tower truly existed in a separate space. Shen Kongzi smiled as he opened the dark spatial passage and stepped in first, followed by the others. Upon arrival, Xiao Yan immediately smelled the dense fragrance of medicinal herbs. He saw extremely rare ingredients growing in the gardens, things that could hardly be found in the outside world. It feels like I've entered the realm of elixirs again, Xiao Yan murmured in awe. Shen Kongzi left them to rest, and after 2 hours returned with news. They now had 5 votes. However, the Elder Council was soon to appoint a new elder in 3 days, who would also gain a vote. Unfortunately, that man was known as one of the most rigid old-timers, Old Man Ho, whom Yao Lao knew well. He was the same Elder Ho who still bore a grudge against Yao Lao. Back during the pill gathering, Yao Lao had defeated him, stepping on his pride, quite literally. Old Ho had never forgotten it. If you had never left the Small Pill Tower, you'd already be an elder by now, Shen said softly to Yao Lao. We wouldn't have to suffer this headache. But the problem could be solved if Old Man Ho didn't become the new elder. And who could possibly challenge him in alchemy? Yao Lao could, but having left the Pill Tower of his own will, he was no longer qualified to compete. Then all eyes turned toward Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan can become an elder, they concluded. He was the champion of the previous pill gathering and a potential future master of the Outer Pill Tower. That status gave him the qualification to participate, and now everything would depend on whether he could defeat Elder Ho. So that's how events unfold. We'll soon witness Xiao Yan's new alchemy skills, this time at the level of a saint. It will be truly fascinating to see. Thank you so much for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and see you next time.